Arsenal down Barcelona in 8-goal thriller. Brilliant Bellingham off the mark as Madrid down United. Brighton reject Chelsea's £8 million bid for midfielder. Argentina comeback denies Baniana's first win at Women's World Cup. And Spanish midfielder Silva announces retirement after knee injury.
Yes, when you are 37 and you now rupture your ACL, there's no need. You don't need a handwriting on the wall.
Goodbye.
There's no need for mene taking a fast. It just it was nice doing business with you all at 37. Before you recover, that's a year, because that injury usually takes about 8 months to 1 year. If you're 37, it probably take longer. So yeah, there was no need to extend the future. Just tell everybody goodbye, have fun. And he's had a successful career, so it was okay to retire when he did. But first off, let's start with the Tigresses, because they start their championship against Congo today.
Nigeria's women basketball national team, the Tigress, get set to defend the Women's Afrobasket Championship in the BK Arena in Kigali, and that's from the 28th of July up until the 6th of August.
All right. So in our group, we have Egypt, Mali, Senegal, Egypt, Mali, Senegal, Uganda, Cameroon, yeah. So no. Egypt, Mali, Senegal, Uganda, and Congo. So we start with Congo today, and then we also play Egypt. Now, don't get me wrong. You know how this team was assembled. They had the trial. They selected some players, then they invited 2 players. One had an exam, so she kind of dropped out of the team. And then Sarah Goke is the only one with any experience from the previous basketball championship that's played against DR Congo. So I would say this, it's not, you look at the names of the girls on the team, they're girls that can play basketball, just they're not the girls that won this championship that they're defending. So remember, Nigeria won the three-peat. So they won this championship in 2017, 2019, and 2021. Wow. So they were going for the four-peat. So first of all, there is a target on their backs. Then secondly, the team is now, everybody already knows Nigeria's problems with what has been happening with the NBBF is well known, and with what has been happening at the World Cup that Nigeria had to cancel and didn't go, and now the free trial was everywhere on social media. So people around the globe kind of know that Nigeria is in the sport. So a lot of teams squaring up against Nigeria at these championships will be ready to try and take the Tigresses apart. So we hope that they are ready for it. We hope that they are emotionally ready for it. We hope that they're psychologically ready for the battle ahead. And we wish them all the best. So today, the same way you people came out to watch Super Falcons yesterday, please come out to watch the Tigresses.
All right, Super Falcon star Azeezat Oshoala has described Nigeria as the best country in the world after their 3-2 victory over co-host Australia at the ongoing FIFA World Cup.
I like the way she said it. Niger for life. It was the way she transcended. But yeah, really brilliant performance yesterday. The Super Falcons took on Australia. Now, that was our toughest team in the group, and Australia is a really tough team to beat. They are ranked 10th in the world in women's football. They have great stars. The unfortunate thing for the Australians is that they had a lot of injuries up front, and that's why when they created as many chances as they did, especially in the first half, they couldn't really take advantage of those chances because they didn't have the quality in personnel. The football was the same, the build-up was the same, the transition was the same, the final finish that a Samantha Kerr or a Fowler will finish did not happen with the Australians. But I like the way the Super Falcons bounced back. They went a goal down, bounced back with a goal. They considered an injury time in the first half, then scored in injury time in the first half, which is a bad time to concede, but a great time to score. So it was square all square at halftime. But it was the way they started the second half. It was brilliant. The midfield was solid. I love that midfield of Tony Payne, Uchebe, Ayinde. Uchebe for me is I don't know what to call her. Should I call her Makalele of Nigeria? But she is so amazing in breaking up counter-attacks and then setting up the attack. So brilliant display for her. Going up front, I think Uche Nakano starting was brilliant, but I think Asisa sitting on that bench and watching how the first 45 minutes went helped her when she came on the game to just turn things around because she brought the magic. Now you see the angle Asisa scored from yesterday was about the same angle she had in the first match, where I said she didn't have any composure on the ball. She could have looked up. It was about the same angle. In fact, the angle was a little more accurate. And then she hit the ball in the back of the net, and that celebration that went wild. So it was a brilliant performance by the team. It was also a brilliant selection by Randy Waldrum. Yes, I've given him stick a lot of times, but this one, he got his selection to start brilliantly. I don't still know why he made some of the substitutions he made, but his selection, his plan yesterday was brilliant. However, thank you very much for your doing your job. Whatever he does after the Super Falcons qualifies for the next round, or whatever they do during this World Cup, after that, we shouldn't be giving him an extension of contract. I have said it here. I will say it anyway. We need a coach that will bring out the best in Super Falcons. Randy Waldrum is not that guy.
Coming after such a massive win.
Yeah,
though.
I know I say it after a massive win, but yeah.
All right, let us know what your thoughts are.
In fact, let's even throw it open. So, because of this thing that Zibby just said, I know I said it's coming after a massive win. I shouldn't be saying that. Let's open the phone lines. Let's hear your thoughts. You've seen Randy Waldrum. He's coached Nigeria for 26 matches. He's won 12 of those matches, so 48%.
Okay.
That's not pass. I don't know what it's not pass, but he beat Australia yesterday. So, what would you advise based on the results yesterday? Would you say that we should still give Randy time, or do you say we should let him go? The numbers to call are
01448991,
and you can send your messages to
WhatsApp number 0809 440
Now the question you are answering is simple. Based on the results Randy Waldrum and the Super Falcons brought yesterday against Australia, 3-2 to win that match, do you think that Randy is the guy for the Super Falcons, or do you still think we should be looking for another coach? All right, so call those numbers 080
0809 440 That's the WhatsApp number. The phone number to call 01448991.
And the messages are already coming in. So Emeka says,
so the Australian defender decided to do a Harry Maguire and let Aziza Oshoala score that late winner. Even with the way the NFF is treating our girls, they still did do so well. I raise my hat to them. I wish them more success in the tournament.
All right, let's take this phone call. Hello, good morning. Your name and your location, please. Okay, Michael, what do you think about Randy Waldrum? Should he stay?
Because these girls, I see more of individual effort, self-effort from those girls. A coach that sits down 90 minutes duration of the match and never inspires the girl to move forward or do something. And really, personally, I don't think his contract should be extended when he's done with this time. So that's my opinion.
All right, thank you, Michael. If you think otherwise, please let me know. Let's take this message from Buki B, and she says,
Bookie B says, I was proud of the Falcons yesterday, especially the goalkeeper who saved so many times. I hope we leave the group stage and go far. Go, ladies.
Yes, I think we can, at least we can get a result against Ireland. And the group we are facing will be England, Denmark, China. Those are the people that are going to qualify from that group. I don't know if we can beat England, so we should just finish at the top of the group. Whatever happens, let's just finish at the top of the group. All right, let's take this phone call. Hello, good morning. All right. Hello, good morning. Your name and your location, please. All right, so tell us, what do you think about Randy Waldrum?
I do think although I'm a big critic of Randy Waldrum, but Tega, sometimes let's tend to appreciate some of the good things we've seen from this tournament. That's why we all started saying Tata Martino, Pep Guardiola is not a good coach because Barcelona had a hot last on the Tata Martino came and people didn't want it a spoon with same thing. This man made some good tactical changes yesterday. The team among and I defensively, the way they are so very difficult to score against. So I think the man has done something good, and we should appreciate him for this. Even though I do think on a longer run, Nigeria doesn't have a good plan with the man. Seriously, but I do think.
Okay, you do think we should appreciate him. Hello, good morning. Yeah, your name and your location, please. All right. What do you think about Randy Waldrum?
Okay, I mean, a decent showing from yesterday's match. We're not there yet. He's not there yet. I don't think we should be renewing his contract. I could do a lot of things I could spot out which were deficiencies in coaching. So I think we should move forward from here.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let's talk. Let's see some messages here. Let's start with Tayo. Tayo says,
Can we sack him from there? Matilda were handicapped. Despite that, we were squaring up for a draw, but we serve a living God. Okay.
So at the end of the day, we still pray to win. All right. Let's read this one.
This one is from Pius, and he says, Tega, don't you think Oshuala should be coming from the bench?
You know, when she came from the bench and she did that yesterday, I thought she felt like she had to make that statement, because a lot of people criticized her after the first match, and then in the second match they seemed to be playing a little better without her. I remember they were 2-1 up when she came in, but she scored that goal that consolidated the win. So I don't know if she should be coming from the bench. I mean, she's your star player. Just her presence on the pitch can cause defenders to worry. So remember, no, it was 1-1, because when she came on, she was the one that caused the corner that they scored the second goal from. Oh yeah, so she
Redemption.
yeah, she was running at the defenders.
Right.
The defenders were just like, it's assistant, and they kicked the ball in. Yeah,
wow.
that's what happened. And then we had the corner, and then we scored the goal. So she did make a change. Her presence on the pitch can make a change, even if sometimes her performance doesn't bring in the work. So I would say, no, don't start her from the bench. She's too much of a star player for you to leave that on the bench. Okay, we see the phone lines going, and we see your WhatsApp messages, but we'll be taking all of that after this very quick break. 98.1. All of you need Jesus.
Oh my days. Randy. Mr.
Randy Waldrum. Randy has gotten what he wanted to get.
Like, now it's like...
Yeah, because he just wanted this World Cup on his CV. Now he has it.
Oh my days. Maybe if they offer Randy an extension.
Wow. So we are going to read all the messages.
Okay. Randy will probably be like, Nigeria, it's been real.
Exactly.
I gotta go.
But I gotta go. Look at what my producer did. He gave them side view. I know that I don't have bomb, so it's my non-existent bomb they'll now be seeing. Hi, Tega. I'm going to stay like this so it will look like ours.
Yeah. This my scarf ain't looking cute.
YouTube,
Oh my
the
God.
revealer of all truths. We love you. We don't care.
Oh. Yeah. But I'm happy though. I didn't expect that.
Oh, I was so excited. I actually thought when they had all those injuries and we had our own players, Rashidat come back, Ainde come back, I was just like, we could win this. Because when I saw those injuries, for the problem with sometimes is that you need those clinical people to finish. So if you create great chances and you don't score, you will not win. So I had a feeling that we could win this. So you can imagine my neighborhood yesterday. It was my voice. Hey, you could hear my voice from Oshoji.
Oh my days.
My love and celebration was loud and
I
proud.
can imagine.
But Randy got it right yesterday. I mean, yesterday he put his foot right, and it's all we've been saying. If you do the basics, the Super Falcons will take it from there.
Yeah, the girls have always been solid.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
The girls have always been solid. Just do the basics right. All right, we have a lot of messages coming in, Zibby.
Yes, indeed. Let's go on to the live stream where the messages are coming from. LK says Tega should be awarded the #1 fan of the Falcons. She always says that we'll win the game, and we had the team to do it. I followed her through her emotional roller coaster on Twitter. Were you displaying on Twitter, Tega?
Trust me, yesterday.
Okay, never knew Tony Payne was that good. Such a midfield maestro. Our defense was also well organized and structured. I'm impressed. Tega, what if he wins the World Cup, Randy?
If they sacked Roberto Di Matteo after he won Champions League.
I mean, how did that even happen?
So
Crazy
we
stuff.
can also sack this one.
Padre Pio says, I really don't care if Randy wins the World Cup. For me, it's Randy out. Joshua says, for me, you can only go as far as your coach. Agreed, he's being owed, but I agree with Tega. Padre says, meanwhile, that celebration though, and my baby is the #1 African female to score in 3 World Cups.
Yes, that's Asisa.
Our phone lines are buzzing.
Our phone lines are buzzing. Let's take one more phone call. Hello, good morning. Your name and your location, please. All right, Bash, what's your thoughts on Randy Waldrum and the Super Falcons?
I think the Super Falcons, they like him. They like him and they appreciate his, what you call it. First, Deneby was there. His TV has been boosted. And anybody that wants to come after him, I feel that he should, if the girls like him, they should continue with him. Okay. They should continue with him because you can't just ditch somebody who has done something. Everybody has been condemning him. I myself had some question marks on him, but picking somebody from nowhere and doing something like that, at least he deserves. I mean, Australia, look at it. It's just like Gennett Rowe playing Argentina. And what did he do when we played Argentina? We lost the match.
Sorry, no, it will be like Australia play. It will be like us playing Argentina without Messi and Alvarez. Yeah, do you understand? Those two players are missing. We beat Argentina.
Still lost.
We will beat them.
But because you saw what happened. The officiating was even against us in that match in Russia, but we would have still lost.
Okay, I understand what you mean. So we shouldn't fire him. He should stay. All right, thank you. All right, so he says he should stay. I like the mix of. I'm not the NFF, so I don't have the power to hire or fire. But I like the mix of that. He says he should stay based on that result. Can we take one or two more messages before we move? Pastor Dapo says,
congratulations to our various queens of the Super Falcons. Good job, well done. Knew all the while that those girls would win the match or at least get a draw. They're just beautifully stubborn and rugged diehards. Carried it both wins and double chance, and they didn't disappoint me. Kudos.
All right. And she says,
for a country where they owe coaches salaries and owe player bonuses in addition to political interference in team selection and corruption, wow, in the country's governing bodies, you complain too much. The coaches aren't your real problems. You guys should look inwards.
I agree. The coaches aren't our real problems, but they are part of our problems. Real assumed, they are all part of our problems. So yes, if the coach is in charge of getting the best results out of the girls and he's not getting them, he's our problem. He should go.
Wow. All right. Ukrainian fencer Olga Karlen has been disqualified for refusing to shake hands with Russian Anna Smirnova at the World Fencing Champions.
All right. So this was an interesting one. So remember that the Ukrainians and the Russians are still in a battle. So a lot of federations presidents, including the IOC president, comes out to say, you know what, every organization, every federation, look, you're going to have to handle this with care because it's going to be very hard to tell people whose family members are dying that they should be shaking hands with people from the country that is causing their pain. So they just said everybody should be sensitive about it. Try to keep the respect, but be sensitive about it. Now in fencing, this becomes the first athlete that was going to compete against a Russian, and she won the match 15-7. She won her. She was going to go to the next round, and then after the match, she refused to shake hands. And then, do you know what the Russian did? The Russian was competing under a neutral flag, like all Russians are these days, or most Russians are. The Russian decided that she's going to stage a protest that they must shake her hand. So she staged a 45-minute protest. Not 2 seconds, not 5 minutes, a 45-minute protest. They even had to give her chair to sit down while she was protesting because that's how long she was protesting. Eventually, they told her to get off the mat that other people wanted to compete. The Ukrainian was supposed to move to the next round. After a while, they now announced that she's been disqualified because she did not shake the lady's hand. So the next Ukrainian that was supposed to fight did not fight at all. Did not even show up at all. So now there is a problem in the fencing federation because the president has made an appeal. And they're taking it all the way up to the IOC. Oh yes.
wow.
Look, you cannot tell me sports is not political. In fact, sports is the
Mhm.
most political thing. There's a reason why people do sports washing. If your country is in turmoil and you want the world to accept you, host a sports tournament. Argentina did it. Russia did it. In fact, South Africa tried to do it during apartheid. When your country is when people are not accepting your country too much on the global scale, look for a sports tournament that is looking for a host and host it. It's called sports washing. So you
Wow.
cannot tell me that politics can be kept out. It's not possible because sports is what they used to make politics okay. Sports is the unofficial United Nations. So you can't keep it out of there. So they're going to have to find a way to sort it out, sort what this thing is. But there is a protest going on right now. I can tell that we have not heard the end of this story. But yes, so far that player has been Kalan has been disqualified. That's a Ukrainian player, and her male counterpart who didn't show up. It was a walkover, so his opponent was declared winner, and they progressed with it. But yeah, the Ukrainian Federation is protesting.
Oh, why can't we all just get along? Why? All right, on to the next subject. Leandro Trossard bagged a second half brace as Arsenal twice came from behind to defeat Spanish champions Barcelona
Up
5-3 in a pre-season friendly in Los Angeles.
All right,
on
and
Wednesday.
that is the crux of the matter. Pre-season friendly. That's why they
A
thrive.
win is a win.
I agree. A win is a win in a pre-season friendly. Goodness, I'm not. It was a good game. You know, at the end of the day, Xavi was like, that Barcelona has not really just about started their own pre-season, and Arsenal came to play like they're in the Champions League. I was like, oh God, did you know you're playing a friendly or not? And then you should have come like you two were playing in the Champions League. But it was a good display of the Gunners, especially after the way they lost to Manchester United. You know, losing 2-0 in regulation time and then losing on penalties again to the same Manchester United club on the same night. But it was a good way to bounce back for the Gunners. I think Mikel Arteta is going to begin to figure out his team. I still am very confused as to why he bought Kai Havertz, especially why he bought him for 65 million. But I think eventually he's going to figure out which starting 11 is best for him, and which his first team is before the season starts on the 11th of August.
All right. Let us know what your thoughts are. 0809 440 981. Jude Bellingham scored the first goal of his Real Madrid career as the Spanish Giants defeated Manchester United in another preseason friendly. This one in Houston.
All right. So Onana started this match to show Manchester United fans that, what the chief security officer was in charge and he was going to do a great job. First of all, he was chipped by Bellingham. Then they scored an overhead kick into the back of his net. It's like, what? Those are the goals he considered. He didn't consider any regular old header, any regular old poke over the line. It had to be that they chipped you to put the ball in the back of the net. That was not a good way to start. But yeah, Real Madrid not playing the most brilliant of football, but getting not playing the most brilliant of football all through the match. Let me say that because there were brilliant moments during the match, but getting a fantastic result. And Manchester United again struggling, and that's what the problem with Manchester United was last season. It was a mixed bag of fruits. You didn't know what you were getting. You didn't know if it was going to be a good one or it was going to be a rotten fruit. It was, and they did that, and then they played against Arsenal, got a good result. Then they come against Real Madrid, bring a bad result, and that's the inconsistencies that a lot of Manchester United fans were frustrated about last season. And it looks like it's still going to continue this season, especially if you add to the fact that they've not really done enough in the transfer market. You would have thought that after the season, they'd be the first people to start looking for a striker. They haven't done that. So there's still questions about Manchester United despite the Arsenal win, and this Real Madrid result did not help it.
Okay. Brighton have rejected a further bid from Chelsea, believed to be about £80 million, for midfielder Moses Caicedo.
this one is getting very upsetting because, truth be told, and I would say this every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I don't care what the market is talking right now. Caicedo is not worth 80 million. Yeah, you're still going to have to give him time to do this. So it's ridiculous that Brighton is doing this. I understand that they're trying to keep their player, because he was an integral part of their squad. But 80 million for Caicedo, what is it? And it's a ridiculous pricing for all these players. But if Chelsea is going to keep on chasing him like he's the best thing since sliced bread, at the end of the day, they might as well cough up the money. Because if they do put 100 million on the table, I can tell you for free that the Brighton owners will be like, thank you very much, have him. So this slow walk to 80 million is a tricky one. Ultimately, I think because of the way they're chasing him, they will get him. I just don't think that they should spend the money they're spending to get him. I just don't think so. I think Arsene Wenger needs to come back. Put 40 million pound bid plus 1 cent.
Oh, wow. Romina Nunes scored the equalizer as Argentina roared back from 2 goals down to draw 2-2 with South Africa at the Women's World Cup on Friday, denying them a landmark first ever win at the tournament.
Now, if you're like me, staying awake at 1 a.m., it was 1 a.m. in Nigeria, 2 a.m. in South Africa, to watch these Bayana girls, you'd be very upset because I did think that Argentina was the team that they were going to be able to beat. Argentina has tried to win a match at the World Cup. They haven't yet done it. So they look like a fair match for South Africa, especially with the way the form South Africa has shown in recent years. Now South Africa getting the match, and true to type, I think at halftime it was 1-0, and then they doubled their lead in second half. They were leading by 2-0, but poor game management. And this game ended 2-2. And I would say this again. I've seen South Africa play, I've seen Zambia play, I've seen Morocco play. When you go into the tournament for the first time, a tournament that you're not familiar with, it's not the time to play football the way you want to play football. You have to be pragmatic about these things. Have some solid structure and then go out and explore when you get the opportunity. It's the fact that these teams go out and they want to play football the way they know how to play football. It's what I tell, we don't know how big somebody else's father's farm is. So don't be bragging about your father's farm, especially if it's only your village that you grew up. So if in your village your father's farm is the biggest, it's okay to brag there. But when you go interstate, it's not time to brag because you don't know how big people's father's farms are. So these people go out and say, our football is good, our football is brilliant. It won us the African Cup of Nations. It qualified us for the Olympics. We came third in the African Cup of Nations. So our football is good enough to compete on the world stage. No, that's a lie from the pit of hell. The devil tricked you. When you first get into a tournament newly, you watch your opponent and then you play accordingly. And that's what happened to South Africa. They were cruising when they conceded the first goal. And then the equalizer came on the back of that, from the deflation that they felt and the frustration that they felt conceding that kind of goal. So poor game management by Bayana, but hopefully they're going to learn from this experience. All right, on that note, let's just take 1 or 2 messages to round up the locker room because we're out of time.
Zizzy Classic says, kudos to the Super Falcons for putting a smile on the Nigerian faces last night.
And Emeka Nelu says,
with all the players Chelsea sold to Saudi Arabia, why can't they cuff the money that Brighton is requesting?
And Gilbert, we're going to round up with Gilbert's message.
Okay, Gilbert says, on the coach staying or leaving, first things first. Like what someone said earlier, it's important we sort out our administrative challenges first pertaining to owing coaches and players allowances and benefits, because psychology has a silent huge impact on individual or team performance.
True.
Nigeria-Italy match bonus dispute before the main match in USA 94 on my mind.
All right. So on that note, we're so sorry we can't take all the messages. Lanre from the abroad, Chimabi Victor, Muhammad, all the other messages that are Dapo Lawal, all the other messages. We're so sorry we can't take those messages, but we'll be back here on Monday to take your messages. Thank you for your phone call, and thank you for those watching on YouTube. Till we see you after the weekend. Zibby?
Yes. That's it for the locker room, but do stay with us. Lagos Talk starts in just about 15 minutes.
All right, people. All right.
Bye.